All right, guys, we got a really good show for you today. We have Artem Shlaine. He's forward for UConn. He's a fifth-round pick from the New Jersey Devils. I'm really excited to have him. Big UConn hockey fan. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. So, talk about like living in Russia as a kid, and then you moved at 15 to Shetucket, didn't you?
Yeah, so obviously I was born in Moscow, Russia, and just spent my first 14, 15 years there. Started playing hockey at 6, and fun fact, I guess, before hockey, my mom brought me to figure skating. So I
Ah,
was figure skating for around 6, 7 months, and then I said I quit. You can't do it anymore because growing up, I think I was a guy who liked like team sports and never liked to be by myself. I was a kind of team player and like all those team sports like soccer, um, hockey. Obviously, my dad loves hockey, and I was watching as a kid. And after quitting figure skating, my dad was like, "You want to try hockey?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yes!" That's a yes. And my dad brought me. We had a youth hockey team 20 minutes away from our house, and I started. I was actually better than other kids at skating because I guess I already had a year on them skating. So I kind of liked it right away, because you like it when you're like better than someone at something. You think you're good, and so I liked it a lot. And I was playing with kids older than me, and got really into it. So I guess my dad helped me out um, with hockey, and then obviously after got invited to a better team, kind of like I'd say like a tier 1 team instead of a tier 2 team I was playing on, and it was a really good team with good history, and they have a KHL team as well, and I went there and um, spent my 7 years there before moving to the U.S. and moving to the U.S. actually. I moved to Florida first. I played for South Florida Hockey Academy. I played on the U16 team there, and it's a great program. It was created by Olli Jokinen. He was drafted by the Kings, and I think third overall, and played there a lot. And then played actually for the Florida Panthers at the end of his career. Um, and then started this program with Thomas Volcone, and now they have a lot of guys who's helping them out, and it's a great program. And it was the first year they had a U16 team, and I think me and my family thought that would be a great place for me to kind of like get used to American hockey. The ice sheets are smaller and stuff like that. And after 1 year there, I moved to Shattuck, which is definitely number one program to be at. And if anyone is looking, that's definitely where you want to be if your dream is to play in the NHL or be a pro.
yeah, for sure. I don't know if you know. Do you know Scotty Morrow?
Yeah, me and Scott actually played in the same team.
Yeah.
2 years, the time I was at Shattuck, we both played in the prep team. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm
I know
actually
him
doing
well.
an interview with him this week, and so I was wondering if you knew him. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's a good guy. He'd be a good one too.
yeah. So you kind of alluded to it. Was there really like what was the big difference transitioning from like Russian, I guess, quote unquote hockey to like over in America?
I think the biggest difference is honestly not in like the rink or not in the guys you're playing against. It's literally just yourself. You have to like people come and they think, oh, I need time, I got time, I have to adapt, it's fine if I'm not playing good or stuff like that. And I don't think like when I moved, I kind of didn't think about it, maybe because I was too young to think about it.
Mhm.
And I just thought, oh, I'm just gonna go out and play and do the things I did. Obviously it's a bit different. You realize that you have to make plays faster, but you're playing against the same guys.
Mhm.
You're playing against kind of the same players you were playing, just I guess different names and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
all the way, like you're playing hockey, the game you like, and there's basically nothing that changed. So I think if you go there with that mindset, you don't need a lot of time to adapt. And so moving to US, I think South Florida Hockey Academy is a good, like, great spot if players want to move like from Europe to US and kind of like get adapted, because half of the team when I was there were from Europe,
Mhm.
Finland, Sweden, and it was great because all the kids are like, we're all away from home. We're living in a boarding school and nobody really speaks English, not well enough, I guess. We're all learning and everyone's the same situation. So it helps you a lot in a mental way for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then obviously Minnesota is another breed of hockey up there, for America at least.
Yeah, as I said, Shattuck is, I think, called the hockey state in US, and I kind of figured it out when I got there.
Yeah,
But Shattuck is a different place, and when you just look at the names and like the players who came out there, they're now playing in the NHL or just playing pro in Europe.
yeah,
There's a lot of people, and I think not a single hockey program in the world has the same amount of NHL talent. Players who graduated from there were there at some point. Yeah, there's great resources, and you get all the attention you need and everything you need. You just got to put it in your own work, come in every day and just do your job. And I think people who do that at least have 50% to succeed, and the other 50% is your own work ethic.
for sure. Talk about why you chose to go to UConn for college hockey.
UConn is a great place and maybe doesn't get much, respect from for the hockey side. Obviously, everyone knows UConn for the basketball, women's basketball and men's basketball, really good programs. And I think hockey is just, it's pretty new because, for example, like UConn was in hockey just for 8 years, I think, or maybe 9 years, something like that. So it's still like pretty early,
Mhm.
but it's already like, if you can see like the program is like emerging and getting better every year from year to year.
Yeah,
And I think I chose it not because of, some people think, oh, I stepped on campus and I felt like it was a place. I don't believe in that. I think I chose it because, thinking about what college to attend, you got to take in all the little aspects, all details. And I think the biggest detail is you got to trust the coaches and you got to have great teammates around you
yeah,
to succeed. And, like people say, you have to practice against the best, play against the best uh, to grow as a player and as a person, obviously. So I think that's the main reason. And obviously, education. UConn has a great education, great business school. And I want to be into business management. Undecided right now, but probably going that road. So yeah, I think UConn has all you need.
yeah. UConn. I mean, I've watched the hockey probably for 4 years now, like hard, and you can see definitely there's an upward trend that unless you pay attention, you don't see as much, but like it's definitely in trending upward. And just kind of want to transition into that. How do you think your season's going? And then you have upcoming games against Northeastern, correct?
Yeah, we play Northeastern tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, can you
Yeah.
give a little preview of that also? What do you think?
Uh, yeah. So I think our season, it's obviously like everyone says that this is a kind of not a regular year, not a usual year. So like we don't play half of the games that are scheduled. So we had a schedule, and probably half of the games we played are we're not even on the schedule.
Yeah.
There's a moment we had to play Northeastern, then something happened. There's like some inconclusive test or something, and the game got canceled the day before we had to play.
Mhm.
So things like that will happen this year, I guess, and maybe another year and so on. But you, at the end of the day, we just gotta come out and play and do our jobs whenever we get a chance. And this year made me kind of realize that whenever you get a chance, you get an opportunity, you gotta cherish it, because not every Division One hockey school gets to play as many games as we do,
Mhm.
for example. So although like I think in a good we're having a good stretch right now, and I think it'll continue. Um, we've played really good schools so far, like ranked opponents like Boston College and Providence, and so on.
You just swept Merrimack.
Yeah, last weekend we played against Merrimack, and I think they're a great team. And but like I said, whoever works the hardest, I think, in this like, definitely this year wins more games. So just next weekend we tomorrow we have Northeastern actually, and they're a really skilled team, and we play away. But I don't think this year matters as much where you play because there's no fans,
Yeah.
and so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, we're going there, and we're going with the mentality to get our 3 points.
Yeah, for sure. I want to transition. Last year you got drafted by the Devils. What was that like hearing your name called?
Yeah, it happened actually when I was at UConn, and I was expecting before the draft that I would get to watch it in person with my family, like everyone does.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen, and I think getting drafted is a once in a lifetime opportunity, but getting drafted in a COVID year, I think that would never happen again in anyone's life.
Yeah.
So I'm really, I guess, happy that I got drafted, and I'm really excited about like the future with the Devils and how that's gonna play out for me. But yeah, when I got on the day of the draft, we just kind of got to get my roommates and just my teammates at one of our apartments, and just kind of put the TV on and started watching. There's a couple other guys that had a chance to get drafted, and a couple of them did. One of my roommates got drafted to the Flames, and I was the moment we kind of expected him to get drafted in the first or second round. So every time there was a pick, we're just sitting there, and I was really nervous for him.
Yeah.
And after that, I was thinking as like the third round went on, I was like, oh, if I was that nervous for him, how nervous I'm going to be for when my name gets called.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just sitting and waiting for that my name to be called, and it happened in the fifth round by the Devils, and I saw my name on the screen, and right away I get a text from my mom, my dad, my family, and they kind of everyone started texting me and congratulating, and it was like a moment that I remember for my whole life for sure.
Um. Yeah, that's awesome. What are you most excited about going to the NHL?
I don't think I haven't looked um, that much in the future yet
Yeah.
about playing in the NHL. Obviously, it's a dream to uh, play there, and every kid who plays hockey, I think, has a little dream like that to play in the NHL because it's the best league in the world. But I'm just gonna now my team is UConn, and I'm gonna spend my years here till New Jersey thinks that I'm ready. And how many years that's gonna take, that's on me. That's on my development, and uh, I'm just gonna wait and do my job here and let them do their job.
Yeah, you kind of alluded to a few questions I want to finish out. You talked about the development. What's like the biggest thing you want to work on right now?
Um, I think there's not a specific thing that I want to work on, just like specifically.
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing is just to keep working on everything little by little. Obviously, probably if I would have to pick one, it would be like my strength. Because from like if you're strong, everything gets better. You get faster. Obviously, if your legs are stronger, you get a better shot when um you're stronger as well, and it kind of you win more battles because you get stronger and so on. But there's one thing that you can't teach, and that was a thing that my coach, when I my youth team actually, the one thing he said, and I remember it for my whole life, the one thing you can't teach is your playmaking ability, your thinking, kind of like your brain. You can't teach your brain to do stuff. So um, the things I have to work on is probably getting stronger, and it's gonna come. Everything else is gonna come from
Yeah,
there.
sure. I wanted to final two things. I want to ask, like, what do you like to do in your free time when you're not playing hockey?
Uh, Obviously, it's kind of all my free time things. Right now, there's a lot of schoolwork, and it's kind of just because we don't have as many classes in person. It's kind of schoolwork, hockey, get your rest, obviously, food, and then you kind of like get your sleep, and it's so and just continuous. But I think the biggest thing for me recently, especially in COVID times, was I have been watching a lot of shows and movies, and I got really into it.
Uh-huh.
So
What was your favorite show or movie you watched?
um, I think for movie, I'd have to go with Focus. It's
Okay.
with Will Smith. It's a really good movie, and it's kind of a movie where you have to think. I think, I guess, and
Mhm.
I like that kind of movies. For shows, um, I have my last show that I watched was Prison Break.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you know about it, but it's a pretty good one.
Mhm.
I also like Blacklist a
Oh
lot. I
yeah.
watched it during the summer. Um, I don't know about the best show I've ever seen though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple for sure.
Yeah, it's tough. I always finish out my final question. How do you want people to remember Artem Shlaine when your hockey career's over?
That's a tough one, but I'd say after like you finish hockey, um, obviously you want to connect. Like for me, I want to connect my life with hockey.
Mhm.
Even after like my career's over, I finished playing, so I'll probably be like a coach or kind of be like in the hockey world,
Yeah.
in some
Mhm.
place. But obviously, that's why I'm in college. Getting a degree here, getting a business degree will help that. But uh, life doesn't stop on hockey. So, if something happens and my career's over and I have to get a job in like a business field, kind of like maybe work for some company or maybe have some business idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
for
I'm
sure.
gonna think about it when time comes for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you, Artem, for coming on. We really appreciate this. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, that's sweet. I'm gonna stop.